Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Life After Sunday, the Midweek Mic. This is episode 16. So we've been doing this for 4 months.
Yeah.
Already.
So it is going to be on the sermon today, which was about identity. So we'll explore identity and just really our thoughts on it. And I think it's something that you and I have struggled with and continue to struggle with. We are not experts in this. We're not experts at anything that we talk about.
Still figuring it out.
Just remember, that's why you're watching this podcast. You're just watching two people who are learning and growing, and hopefully you learn and grow with us.
Yeah.
If you're already really mature, I'm sorry. No. So I just had a little story about this Sunday. It was a bit crazy. The main worship leader, she is pregnant. So she was thinking she was going to have a baby. Turns out she isn't going to have the baby yet, and was sent home, but she couldn't be on the worship team. Then let's just say basically the whole entire worship team wasn't there except for
There's a lot going
two or
on.
three of the main people. And then we asked Chrissy to join us, and then not knowing that Chrissy was actually the one giving the sermon because Pastor Patty and Pastor Chris weren't there. So that was like a scramble this weekend trying to figure out what to do with worship, because
picking songs.
I don't know how to play an instrument, and Lindsay was the other person. She doesn't know how to play an instrument. So we were like, oh, wow, this is going to be interesting. And then, so we go through all of that. We think, oh, cool. We get to church on Sunday and the power's out. We're like, oh, maybe that was an
So
answer.
there was like a planned power outage and no one told our church about it. So it was supposed to be on at 7 that morning. Then it was 8. Then it was 9. Then it was 10:30. And we start service at 10. So it was like 9:15 finally. We get there at 9 to have worship practice before. At like 9:15, we're like, you know what? We're just going to have to call it, say no church this week. And right when we were getting ready to like post on socials and everything, the power came back on.
Yeah.
God wanted us to be there today, I guess.
So
after
that's
all
what
that.
I was thinking with like the sermon and stuff, and this message and even this podcast is like so many things pop up trying to discourage you from delivering what God wants you to deliver.
Yeah.
I think we go through that every time we go to record.
We do. There's often, we don't have expensive equipment here because we're just
As
a
you
little...
can see on our screen, it says using droidcam.app.
So we're trying to use cheap and or free services.
We don't have the subscription for
So a lot of times the computer's not working, the camera's not working, the mics aren't working, just different things, and it'll take us an hour just to get rolling. And then we're like, what are we doing this for? This is more of a struggle than anything else, it feels like sometimes.
Yeah. So I think that it brings us into the topic of identity. We were talking about identity for church, and I liked what she started out with. So you have this baby who's being born. The baby comes out and it's like, who am I? Who am I? Who am I? Imagine, too, you're a baby. You're like, what the heck is this? And you come out screaming and crying, and then you are placed with your mother, and your mother comforts you, and you feel loved.
That's nice.
You are, who am I? I am loved. And that's the sweet, isn't it? It's like the, oh my gosh, you're getting little sparkles in your eyes. Steph gets really teary-eyed.
Babies.
It was just like a nice thought to think of too, is that's how you start out your life, is, which I hope I know some babies don't, and that makes me sad, but you start out your life generally with, I am loved. You feel comfort, you feel safety, you are loved. And that's how God sees us. But then things start happening in life that start distorting who you are, your identity of who you are in Christ and what that even means. And I was just thinking of some of the things in my life that have taken me away from that path of not feeling loved, not feeling worthy, and believing those lies.
Yeah, you're shaped by your circumstances. You're shaped by the way you think about yourself. You're shaped by the words that other people speak over you.
Yeah.
All of these things add up to be who you believe that you are.
Yeah. So you have the enemy who's been like working at it before I was even born to
snuff you out.
Of this love that God has for you. Even in the Garden of Eden, he was like making them question everything, and they spent time with God. And he made them question God and really their relationship to him. And the same thing still happens to us today. Like, you have people who have traumatic experiences as children that knocks out a little bit more from you. You have an adult situation, you have abuses that happen, you have traumatic experiences, you have just even the trying to find success in this world.
Everyone is searching their whole lives, I think, to figure out who they are. And think of how it's ramped up right now, where they're like, if you're not happy as a boy, you can become a girl, or vice versa. Like, just searching, who am I? Who am I? Crazy. And you can see the attack that Satan has on your identity. So you know that it must be so important, because once you figure out who you are in Christ and you walk in that, you're like untouchable then. But until you get to that point, man, like, you can get so overcome with all of these lies around you that it completely holds you down.
Yeah. To go back to what you were just saying too, is it's so weird of how simple identity is in God. It's, I am a child of God, I am loved.
Yeah.
And then in the world,
it's so warped,
complicates
and so complicated.
It with so many things. I think it's funny too, is we have a world that says they don't want labels, and they don't want to put people in boxes, and they don't want to conform, and are trying so hard to label that you are mutilating to label. If somebody doesn't fit the typical gender stereotype, you're doing all of this to have this person conform to what you have deemed as an identity, instead of just allowing this person to be who they are.
Yeah. And what does it all come down to? There's a void in all of us, like a God-shaped hole. And you're trying to fill it with everything but God, and then it never works. So you're going, and in this case, you're going down a path that is not always reversible completely. Like, dangerous things happen, and then you're not able to get back to that spot when you realize, oh, that was another dead end, that was another wrong path, because it's not.
We're trying to find worth in ourselves. We're looking in
and from other people
in ourselves to find out who we are. And she said this is like, you look to God who's infinite, so you can always discover new things. And you look to him and you keep searching, and just being able to rest in that he has you, and that you are his, and that he cares for you, and that you are created who you are to be created as. And that's not saying where you're at in your emotional, spiritual, mental state is where he wants you to be,
or
but
living
know
in
that
nature,
where you're at is where he wants you to be.
It's just hard to watch a world that is searching and searching and not finding, because they're not looking in the right place. That's heartbreaking to see people struggling so much, and you feel for them. And here we are with this truth.
I'm not going to say that I completely...
we haven't found it all.
I fall into this every every day. I constantly have to remind myself that I am loved and that I am God, and I need to constantly go back to the foundation of that. I think of success, so I easily get into trying to strive for success that the world is telling me that I need to have.
Yeah.
Oh, I need to have this amount of success. And it doesn't have to be financial success, because we all know that I'm losing there. It doesn't have to be physical either, because, again, losing there. So no matter where you're looking at, I'm losing. But when I look at God, it's, you're not losing. Like, you have this. And I think even when we go into identity, we know we're part of the body of Christ. Those are not going to change. But I think finding your spot in the body is hard, right?
Yeah.
Like, I can know that I am God's, but then finding out your place in this world.
Everyone is searching for their purpose all the time. What am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to do? That's a big question. But I think sometimes you don't get a clear-cut answer on that And what I think you need to focus on instead is, what is God doing around me that I can just jump in on? It doesn't have to be such a big, important title of what your purpose is, but it can just be like, oh, this is happening here. Let me go serve. Oh, this is over here. Let me go do that.
I think she even talked about this as being, she said she was doing for the Lord, and she would always be like, I'm doing for the Lord, and I'm a workhorse for the Lord, though. And it was like, she was like, it wasn't good, because I was just thinking, what am I doing? What can I do? She was filling her life up with works.
Yes.
And we get caught up into that all the time. No, I do. I get caught up in what can I do? Because I am a planner. I like to have hands on to do things. I like to control things. And it's a struggle to be like, okay, so I'm going to do this. I'm going to surrender this. But then I don't fully surrender it because I'm going to surrender it, but I'm going to work. I need these 3 steps in the plan, and then that will be done. And I talked to her after the sermon today, and I was talking about how not only am I trying to control the steps, I'm trying to control the outcome. I think I need a certain outcome to happen. And that's, again, we're looking at, I'm trying to have an outcome that looks successful.
Right.
So
when your success and God's success might not be the same thing.
It's not the same thing. To take this podcast, for example, I struggle with the fact that nobody's viewing. There are people viewing, but like, you think in your head it is a failure because it's not.
You'll watch like a silly video on TikTok that has 100,000 hearts, and then you're like, here we are trying to spread the word.
But am I chasing?
But that's not what's important.
I shouldn't be chasing that. What I'm chasing is the heart of God.
Yeah. And has this, like us discussing this, brought us good conversations and realizations about things? Sure. This has gotten me more into the word. So that's success, right?
Yeah. And I think something that we've talked about in the past is like convictions. This process has been a big conviction for me, in the fact that I'm constantly being reminded of who I am and what I'm doing this for. I'll look at the YouTube channel and I'll see, like, it's funny too, they'll be like, oh, you have 194 followers and then you have 192. You're like, what happened? Like, where did this thing go? Or this video has 1,100 views, and then you post something that's like 3, and you're like, you get upset with yourself because you are not seeing the success that you thought you would see.
Yeah.
And so then I'll get upset with myself, and I will try to think to do better, or try to think of those snippets that I could put out there. And
or sometimes you're like, should we just stop doing this?
Should we just stop doing this? And you get convicted because it's like, is that what God is wanting me to do? Is he wanting me to go out there and chase what everybody else is chasing? Everybody else on TikTok is doing a stupid dance and getting all these likes and getting all these views. There are people who are compromising what they're saying on TikTok, what they're saying on YouTube, just so that they can get people to like them and to listen to them. And do I want to be one of those people who get onto the screen and to satisfy itching ears? Or am I wanting to be that person who listens to the convictions of God to present an actual message or an actual real raw conversation that will spark and impact other people to think and to go to the word themselves? Yeah, that's what I want to do. And when I think about it and I get into it, I'm like, Duane, stop. You need to stop trying to chase the success of the world.
Yeah.
And it comes up. It's not easy to get away from, but it is easy to feel those convictions from God. And
so maybe that's another point of this too, just to get us to focus on the right thing.
And going more into convictions, I think sometimes people think of them as the commands that God has given us. And let's be honest, everybody lives the 10 commandments, even if you're not a Christian. You, for
law following people, yeah.
Yeah, for the most part, there is a moral ground that has been around, and most people don't have affairs, and most people don't most
steal,
people try to not cheat other people, and maybe for the first one of not having idols, whatever. But for the most part, people have a moral ground, and then we have these commandments and things. But convictions are, again, more into the identity of, because it's specific to who you are. It's your relationship with God. It's taking you further. And I would even say it's a reminder of your identity.
Yeah.
It's saying, remember who you are.
It's also saying God cares enough about you to want to perfect you. Mm-hmm. Don't look at it as a negative thing. Look at it as, I'm walking so close with God that he's speaking to me to tell me what I can do to be better.
Yeah. I think of some of the convictions that I've had throughout my life, and it's like, it was a struggle to put those into action, and to be like, okay, I'm gonna stop doing this, or I'm gonna start doing this. And it was a struggle because it was maybe something that was part of my identity.
Yeah.
And it wasn't there. People will say, oh, convictions, oh, he's doing a sinful nature. No, it's not always the case. It's just something in your personality or in your identity that needs to be maybe subdued or completely cut out. And there have been things in my personality, like obsession, anger, things like that, I've had to work on. And through those convictions, I was able to see and subdue these things. And it's not to put limitations on you. It's to put freedom on you to live more freely.
Yeah. I had that same thought earlier while we were driving here. That's funny.
So you don't live in the chains of being,
I think,
shame. I feel like
people get put off thinking like, oh, there's rules to follow and you're not letting me have fun. But why do you think like God has the commands and God has the convictions? Like the fruit of that and living a life that is, like you said, free from bondage and free of shame and free of guilt. And like, why wouldn't you want to live in the freedom of that? So while you think maybe it's restrictive from looking on the outside, inside it's like the peace and the joy that you feel.
Yeah, it is. And you might not see it when you start, actually.
Yeah, it's hard to cut some things out, especially like when it's a personality thing, or what we call, oh, it's just my personality. Sometimes it's not, and it needs to be gone. But it's hard because you lived that way for so long, and that's, your reaction has to change.
I know this time that I'm in, and it's like the convictions that I'm dealing with are like the comparisons and trying to be in somebody else's lane when I should just stick to my own lane, and thinking, why don't I have that success, or why don't I have this in my life, or why don't I have that? And it's, I don't know where that person started. I don't know what that person had to go through to get there, but maybe that's what I'm going through now at this moment in my life. And the success that I'm trying to achieve, I think that's what God is really working on me, is the things that I'm doing in my life. Like she said that she was just doing things, it seems, to do things in hope that you can earn his love. And I'm coming to the realization that's what I'm doing. I'm doing these things and hoping that I can be in a place where I'm like, yes, I fully feel your love. Where, no, I already have his love. I need to be working from his love. As I work from his love, everything will fall into place.
Yeah.
And I'm having a hard time with wrapping my mind around that, I think. Trying to understand, because let's be honest, throughout life, you're always trying to earn somebody's affection.
Sure.
Parents can say, I love you unconditionally, but we're all human. There's sometimes that it feels like there's a condition to it.
Yeah.
You know?
And even apart from that, probably every other relationship feels like you have to earn it. Don't you try to impress
I try to
a
impress
person
you.
that you're dating and
Look
then
at me
marrying. Yeah.
with this nice hair of mine that I just got. Looks like I took a nap. Shirt
Try
that I wear all the time.
But you try to impress friends, you try to impress the boss. Like you're
Yeah.
always trying to earn favor and to earn people liking you and wanting to be around you.
People to wrap their minds around it. There's just this almighty being.
It's so simple
Just
that
wants-
it's hard because we like to overcomplicate things.
So then that brings it into something that your dad actually said to her was the moment he became saved, he was now God's problem. And she's, oh my gosh, can you say that? That seems so bad. And if you think about it, it's true. Like, I can do all these things in my life and I can try to get these success, but it's never going to be anything. All God has asked me to do is to obey and to say yes.
Yeah.
So the outcome that happens, it's on him and it's going to be good.
Yeah.
So I'm just messing it up with trying to figure it out. I would like to have that contract or plan that says, hey, when we get to this part of the phase, this is what you need to start doing. And this is what's going to happen. And this is how it's going to look. And this is how it's going to feel. Unfortunately, that's not how it's going to happen because God wants us to be completely faithful and know that no matter what it feels like, he's going to be there and it's going to be good.
Yeah. Because if we had all the answers, if we could see every outcome, we wouldn't need faith at all. We wouldn't need God at all. So that's probably why we're not meant to know everything. Trust has to come in. Faith has to come in.
It's so hard.
Do you believe God is in control? Do you believe that he has you? Everything's going to be okay.
It's just so hard for
I know.
me to
I know.
think of because I'm just like, I'm such a doer. I love doing things. I love having control of it. Even at work, we're in a meeting and we're supposed to bring 2 or 3 items and I like come in with a whole PowerPoint that's done and a document. Like, so is this what you wanted? And they're like, no, we just wanted 2 bullet points, but thanks for doing the project. I'm like, oh, okay, thank you. I just like to be on top of it and part of it.
And trying to...
Favor, oh gosh. And it's so funny because I'm trying to earn favor for something that I don't even care that much about. I like my job because I like getting paid to live off of, but
your passion.
I'm not passionate about the job.
Yeah.
But it's just funny because here I'm not passionate about something and I go above and beyond and it's hard for me to relate to this sometimes because I don't know how to do it and I don't have to do it. Like,
I will say there's a bonus side to that part of you. It's that I feel like there's people who like to do things well and it's okay to be that also because you can also put that into the kingdom, doing things well, covering all the details, making sure the things that need done get done. Because even though God is in control and we don't know everything, if you're like planning something, there's still steps that need to happen. There's still pieces that need to come into it. This morning at church, our main pastors weren't there. So everybody filled into the spots that were needed. Like you need people who are doers because things still need done. So it's not a bad thing.
yeah.
Just don't be doing it for the wrong reason.
Okay, again, like I'm saying, I'm working through this stuff and let's make it clear, my salvation is not what's up for stake. It's the personality growth right now. I'm in a development stage of maturing and it is me being okay with doing my best and just leaving it there at the altar.
Yeah.
And saying, this is the best that I have and knowing that God's accepting it.
Yeah.
Not picking it apart like I think people do in the world that I live in.
Yeah.
Where they will poke holes through everything. They'll say, oh, you did sing that song really well, but you messed up a note here, or you messed up this here. Oh, you did speak. Okay, but let's try to start using more vocabulary. Let's try to enunciate more. Things that I put in my head or the enemy puts in my head to to take down what I'm trying to offer to God. So then I ultimately don't offer my heart. I
Yeah.
don't offer what he's looking for. I'm offering something that I think he wants, and that's not what he would want. He wants the true, raw, imperfect thing that I have to give him, which blows my mind because nobody else in the world wants that.
That's nice.
Thanks.
So God just wants your yes. He just wants your willingness to join him. He just wants your obedience. It's not probably ever going to be perfect. It's not ever going to be what you think is perfect or how you want it to be. But if you're just showing up and you're giving your all to God and you're loving people the best way that you can, the way that he loves, I think that's the jackpot. That's all.
Yeah. It's funny that what comes into my mind is I wonder if you'll remember this. Just press play. Do you remember that saying?
Just press play.
Just show up and press play. Dude,
Is that a church thing?
it's from Beachbody.
Oh.
Do you remember
No
Sean
wonder
T.
I don't
Beachbody?
remember. I remember Sean T. Beachbody.
So
I don't
like,
remember
but if
that.
you think about it, that was the philosophy there, was just put in, like,
Even though it's messy.
show up.
Yep, just show up.
And yeah, maybe I couldn't finish those 52 burpees that he made you do, and then a one-handed push-up.
Burpees,
like
man.
A run somewhere. And
I can tell you where burpees came from. I'm convinced.
But you have all these things, and let's be honest, in those workouts, you're like, oh, wow, that's safe.
You're glad no one was watching you do
But
it.
I think about the time that I did it, because let's be honest, I ain't doing it now. But I think about the time that I did it, and those all added up to results. And that's how this goes.
Yeah.
As I show up, it's going to add up. It's going to add up to results. It's not, maybe it's not the results that I'm seeing. And even in that Beachbody thing, it wasn't the results that I was seeing. I was expecting a six-pack. I didn't have a six-pack, but I was happy with the fact that I could fit into jeans or have my shirt off and still
Sure.
get you to do a double take. But
Well,
when we were first dating, like, it might not be those results, but it's results that are good that I'll look back on and say, yep, I'm so glad I stepped forward. I'm so glad that I listened to those convictions of that when I felt the enemy pressing me harder, pressuring me harder to do something, that I still was secure in my identity to hear God say, remember who you are.
yeah.
You are not of this world. You are not following the path of others. You are not chasing the success of
Absolutely.
others. You are chasing me. And I think that's what we have to remember is we have to get closer to God. She did a little illustration where she got face to face with her husband. But it's like when she stepped out, when it was, they were like a couple of feet apart, you're in focus, but so is everything else around me is in focus. As I get closer and closer to you, everything around me blurs and I can only see your eyes. I can gaze into your eyes.
That's really good.
And it's so good. It is like, I need to be so focused on God that everything is so blurred out. I need to get into his word, to find out his character. Because through him, finding his character, I found out who I am.
And you said earlier too how you are constantly having to remind yourself who you are in Christ. And that's not a bad thing either. If you have to repeat 1,000,000 times a day, I'm a child of God. I am here for a purpose. I am here with purpose. I am loved. I am made whole. I am worthy. I am enough through Christ. That's okay. You repeat that as many times a day as you need to.
And I think that's just going to be part of everybody's life.
Yeah.
And
And anytime
nobody ever question that?
I can say now I question it a lot less than I used to. Like I feel like this past year I just walk around a little bit different and things don't hit me the same things that would have taken me out before. Yeah. I'm just like roll off my back.
Yeah.
So I don't know how that happened, but good. It took me a long time to get here.
You gave it up to
Yeah.
God. And it's funny because then you want to say took me a long time to get here. It took me a lot of work, but it doesn't take you any kind of work. It just takes you with finally being there and giving
It's
up.
all mental work, not work, but I mean, there's effort you have to put in to speak truth over the lie. Like you really have to notice the lie coming in, say, nope, I'm not going to listen to that, and believe the truth instead.
Exactly, yeah. Just want to make sure I covered everything that my notes are like such a mess. Oh, actually, she said something really good about the. Oh my gosh, I had it in like a. Oh. So to end it, I'm gonna. One thing that she kept repeating that was really good is we become what we behold. So what are you beholding? Are there times where I feel like I was focused on something that was not God? Yes, it's a whole bunch of times. And did I find myself in trouble? Yeah. And it's not that anything horrible or earth-shattering happens. It's inside of yourself that you you don't find peace and you have unrest. You're just so chaotic in your thoughts and your soul, like you just cannot rest. And when you actually do behold God and you focus and you take steps to him and you're focusing more, that peace starts coming.
Yeah.
That unrest starts going away. And it's an amazing thing. So we have to remember we have to abide.
Yeah. Because you just feel settled in your soul then. You know you are secure because you know who you are, you know whose you are.
Yeah.
So nothing really shakes you.
Do you want to read 1 John 4?
Yeah. 1 John chapter 4, and we're in verse, what did you say, 16 and a half?
16.
But I'll just start at 16. We have come into an intimate experience with God's love, and we trust in the love he has for us. God is love. Those who are living in love are living in God, and God lives through them.
Wait, read it.
I was going to keep going.
No, can you read it back again?
Read it back again.
Yeah.
We have come into an intimate experience with God's love, and we trust in the love he has for us. God is love. Those who are living in love are living in God, and God lives through them.
Yeah. So I think just remembering that you are loved.
Yeah.
You are loved by God.
That's the most important thing. And showing God's love to everyone else is the best thing you can do.
So when you are full of love, you will
Then it spills over,
spill
comes
out
out of you. Yeah.
And it's the ultimate perfected love. It's not the superficial love that's out there in the world that likes to
The
lie to you.
conditional love. Yeah.
Lies to you, tells you what you want to hear, so then you can feel good about yourself or feel good in a season or a situation. It's a love that's building something that will last.
Yeah.
So I think that's a good place to end. Just to remember that you are loved by God, to stay in and abide in the love of God. And when you do, all things that you do are from love. You love people. The things that you do for God is from a place of love. And that there is nothing you can do to earn his love because he already loves you.
Yeah.
He already loves you. So stop chasing, stop trying, and just be living in the love of God.
Yeah.
So that's what we had for you today. If you want to come to church and you're looking for a good church, we have one at Life Church Evansburg. If you can't make it, as always, we are happy to talk to you on Wednesdays. Go to Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, join the conversations that are out there, and we will talk to you Wednesday. Bye, everyone.
Bye. Thanks, guys.